This is Advent of Code 2020, Day 10, Adapter Array. We've got a device with a dead battery, and we've got a bag full of adapters that we can use to help plug in our device into the charging outlet on the seat. Unfortunately, that charging outlet produces the wrong number of jolts than what our device needs, which is where our bag of output joltage adapters comes into play. So we have to start from our charging outlet, which has an effective rating of 0, and we need to use our series of adapters to step the joltage up to some number that just happens to be to our device's joltage, which just happens to be 3 higher than our largest adapter. So our device's built-in adapter would be rated for 12 if 9 was our biggest adapter. So what we want to do is find an ordering of all of these adapters that allow us to plug in our device and charge it. And as part of doing that, let's see, I'm looking for relevant details. Right, so any given adapter can take an input of 1, 2, or 3 jolts lower than its rating and still produce its rated output joltage. So if we're starting with our outlet of 0, we can plug in a device, an adapter that's rated to 1, 2, or 3. We could not plug in an adapter that's rated 6 into this. It wouldn't be able to produce the joltage needed, which is why we need to sort of daisy chain together all of our adapters. So there's kind of a lot of runaround backstory and logic here to really come down to what I think is just a problem of sorting these numbers, sorting the adapter ratings, and then that's the only way we're going to be able to chain them together. And then from there we can figure out the next part of the problem, which is, this is more kind of explanation, but ultimately we want to see how many adapters, of any given 2 adapters that get plugged in each other, how many of them have a difference of 1, and then how many adapter pairings have a difference of 3. So if we produce those 2 numbers, then at the end, we will multiply them. And so we've got this longer input here. And so we want to take that, figure out the ordering, see what the jumps are between all of them in that ordering, and ideally we'll come out with 22 pairs where the difference is 1 and 10 pairs where the difference is 3. And if we can get this working, then we'll take a jump into the puzzles output. So I'm going to make my directory for the day and jump into it. And I kind of want to try this in SQL again like we did yesterday. So I'm going to copy our day 9 input file, because I think that's a pretty good starting place. So I'm going to paste all of our input there, and then I'm going to delete everything from yesterday because we don't want that anymore. And we'll do a block selection insert to add parentheses on the front, and then we'll do another block selection insert, and we'll hit $sign to jump to the end of the line, Shift A to put ourselves in insert mode, close the parentheses, put a comma on, and then we'll end the whole statement with a semicolon. And then let's call this a temp table, and then let's also not call it a Xmas data this time. Let's call it, yeah, I guess jolt adapters. Yeah, value's fine. I don't think it needs to be, may need to be big int. We'll hang on to that. Okay, so we've got that file. Now let's open up a PSQL session and we'll import our input file. And what doesn't it like? Syntax error, create table. Oh, whoops. Temp goes here. Let's try that. Okay, so now we've got our table. We can look at it like this, select star from jolt adapters. There's our whole table. Now let's sort this thing. So select star from jolt adapters and we'll order it by value ascending. And so this shows us all the values of all the joltage values of our adapters. And so we'll be able to like plug the 1 or plug the 2 into the 1, plug the 3 into the 2, plug the 7 into the 4. This one right here is a 3 jolt difference, 3 jolt jump. So what we want to be able to do is compute the difference between all these adapters if we were to, plug them all in together. And that does remind me that we're missing one piece of the puzzle here, which is that our where is it? Yeah, our device needs to be included in this as well, and it's going to be 3 more than the highest number. So if I select max value from jolt adapters, I get 49. So then I can insert into jolt adapters into the value column with the values 49 plus 3. And now if we run the same query, we'll see that 52 is now down here. So yeah, now we want to find the difference between all of these, and that makes me think we might be able to use Postgres's lag function. So I think the way that works is if we select value from jolt adapters, we can also select values that are sort of offset by some position from the current row we're looking at. And so that would be our lag. And so we could get the lag value with an offset of 1. And then there's a default that we can pass in. And so if there is no lag value, like in the first position, then we'll start with the default of 0. And then we have to do this over something. So we'll do it over an order by of, and we want them in this sorted order of value ascending. So we'll do it over that. And this whole thing we've got here, I guess we can call like volt2, and maybe we can call this one up here volt1. And let's see, function big int. Okay, so we just need to do a type conversion because it expects them to be all the same type. And there, we've got volt1 paired with volt2, so on and so forth. You can see the 7 pairs into the 4. And now that we have these kind of rows paired up, or these values paired up in these rows, we have something that we can work with to do to compute the difference between them. So we'll use this as a subquery, I think, and call it jolt comparisons, and we'll select volt 1 minus volt 2 from this whole thing. Awesome. So we're getting a bunch of 1s and 3s. So now we just need to count that up. And I'd like to do that with a group by 1. And so this is a positional argument that we can pass to group by, which says this first thing is what's being grouped by. And then I want to include the count here so that we can actually see how many we have of each. Cool, so for the 1s we have 22, for the 3s we have 10, and I think that sounds, yeah, 22 and 10. Cool, so that query with the lag seems to be working. So I like to pop open the puzzle input and see if that's gonna work for us as well. So I'll quit out of here real quick, and we'll copy input to, I don't know, big input. So we'll paste all of those. We'll get rid of these ones that are not part of this. And now do a little Vim trickery to get these all into place. Okay. So we'll drop jolt adapters, because actually it won't exist because we've got a temp table, so it cleared on killing the session, but that's still fine. Okay, so PSQL, we import big input. It's only 108 rows. Okay. And then I think we can just run this query again. We get 69 and 39, so we can say 69 times 39, and that's 2691. Will that work? 2691 is too low. Did we not capture all the input? Yeah, it's not very many lines. What did we miss? Oh, I know what we missed. We missed adding in the max value from into our jolt adapters. So if we select max value from jolt adapters, get 186. And if we insert into jolt adapters, values 186 plus 3. And now let's run this again. 69 and 40. 2760. What do you say? All right. We're just off by 1. Awesome. We got our gold star for part 1 of day 10. Thanks for watching.